Testing, John. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Says hi.
Testing. Testing.
Your wish is my command.
Cooper.
Welcome to Side Dish, everybody. As the people are filtering in. And I know, let's just get this out of the way. I know somebody is going to be like, but tomato sauce is not a side dish. And I'm going to be like, well, marinara sauce is, and it's basically what we're making. So, anyways.
Shame on you.
I love you all. Welcome to Side Dish. It's me, Doug. Amy's behind the camera. We got a little new setup tonight. I instead of the laptop, I set up a whole new all-in-one computer. It's a little bigger, gives her a little bit more room to focus on, not focus, but just more room. Anyways.
Wow, our Christmas tree, our holiday tree is looking great in the reflection.
It really is. Denise is here as well. We don't have any other guests tonight. Thank you for Ted, Kim, and Carlisle for being here last week and being here for Labor Day. As always, we love you very much. Thank you for coming. Tonight, again, tomato sauce. So let's talk about that. So I have a bunch of these little Roma tomatoes from our friend Billy and Teresa's garden. Her mom is very prolific gardener, and she brought me these today, plus some other varieties. But we're going to use, so I'm going to use some of these, but really, canned tomatoes is going to get you where you want to go. They've already been processed. They have a lot of the moisture moved out of them. I'm using crushed. I love the Cento brand. I think they're really flavorful. You can get them here at Costco has them in a 3-pack. Winco has them. A lot of different places have them.
And there was we watched a whole thing with the canned tomato taste off, and that was one of the tops.
It was one of the tops. So this is tomato sauce can take as long as you want it to. You can do it in 30 minutes. You can let it sit and kind of reduce down to get a more rich flavor. But we're gonna cheat because who's got time for that? So we're gonna use tomato paste, which is also a Cento brand, which is really good. And if you buy the tube, check it out, man. You got a lid, you can put it on there, you use what you need, you put it back. You don't have to worry about who's using 8 ounces of tomato sauce or tomato paste and one little recipe. Not this guy. Let me tell you that much. Yeah, I guess here we go. We're making, what are we making tonight? Oh yeah, Tom Collins. What'd you say? Tomato sauce?
Chicken parm.
We are making chicken parmesan for dinner, but for the cocktail, we're going to make Tom Collins, which is very similar recipe to the slow gin fizz. It's just a fizz, but now we're using regular gin. And we were at the liquor store today, and we found this, the Botanist dry gin. Amy liked it because of the bottle, and then we looked it up.
Which is not a good reason to pick gin.
No, but
we then looked it up.
It says pubescence. That's weird. It's probably not English, but it's something. Anyways, yeah, it's good. I will tell you, we've already had one. So, so we are on a way to getting tuned if we drink too many of them.
Tell them what we were gonna make.
Oh, we were gonna make Negronis.
We did make Negronis.
Well, we made 2 of them, and they're too bitter for us. We don't really like bitter drinks. And I made them, and it's basically gin, Campari, what else? And
vermouth,
vermouth,
and sweet vermouth, yeah.
and then an orange peel. It was bitter up front and bitter on the back. It was not great. It's not something I like.
So then we added sparkling water. That really didn't help.
No, and then we added simple syrup.
That didn't help
That
either.
Didn't help either. So
we gave up.
You do what you can do, and that's it. So, I hope everybody's had a good week. Our week was great. I think it was short because of that. Amy's had a rough Friday, but other than that,
I did
the
get
smoke has
to
moved out of our area.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
I did get to substitute teach in 2nd grade for 1.5 days, which, you know, second graders are my peeps. So it was fun.
If you didn't know this, fun fact, Emmy taught second grade for 19 years. So
Yeah.
So all I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to quarter these.
John says, does anybody remember the old bitter beer face Keystone Light commercial?
I do. There were that guy. So there were the guy in that who could like pull his lip above his like nose to make that face. That was insane. So like I said, I'm just quartering these because they're teeny tiny. They're going to break down once we get them. The thing is, why use Roma tomatoes for a sauce? Because like non-Roma tomatoes have a lot of juice in them, where the meat, quote unquote, to juice ratio and aroma is less, and you're gonna get it's good flavor. So there's a million different varieties of Roma tomatoes. I like San Marzano, but you can use any one. So these are amazingly adorable. Yeah, I don't know. It's good, you know.
We've been getting ready for a yard sale next weekend.
That's right. Yard sale at the old vineyards. Come on down, September 18th. All of the vineyards, plus the preserve where Ray lives, is also having a garage sale. So, well, we're going to have to take turns walking around the neighborhoods while somebody mans the table to offset what we're buying and what we're selling. So, you know, it's not going to be, we're probably not going to net anything. But
as long as we can pay for lunch.
Yeah, as long as we can pay for lunch. But I know us, and I know that we love other people's stuff. And I saw on Nextdoor for our neighborhood that somebody was asking what to do with all the extra stuff that they don't sell at the September 18th garage sale, because they have 3 houses worth of stuff at their house.
Wow.
And so I was like,
all right, I'm going shopping.
Speaking of which, how is the picture? Because we changed it to a little warmer, and hopefully that matches with our chopping cam.
Oh, let's take a look at our chopping cam. Okay.
I sharpened. I'm not using my little knife today, but I'm using this nice. This is a Gustav, I think. My good friend Aaron Hinkley got this for me. I sharpened the hell out of it today, and it's a great knife. Yeah.
Was that a wedding present?
No, I think this was just a birthday present or something.
That's nice.
Or, you know, just being a great friend present, because I'm one of the best. All right.
Because you're one of the best, or he's one of the best?
He is one of the best.
Okay.
So I'm turning the heat on, and I'm going to start with what you think is an abnormal amount of olive oil. But, so I don't have a recipe.
Oh, sorry. I'm still on the chopper.
Yeah, go ahead. This is my own recipe that I've not adapted. That's just something I've developed over the time. So I want this to basically cover the entire bottom and be about, that's about, make sure. So we're going to let that heat up. And then while we do that, let's slice some garlic. So we're going to have garlic in this 2 ways. We're going to slice it, and it's going to go in the hot oil. And then, but we're going to get that and the onion ready, and they're both going to go at the same time. And then I also have some fresh thyme, fresh oregano, and then fresh basil from the garden. So those are going to go in, and they're going to go into the hot oil as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to bloom the flavors in them, and they're going to come out really nice. I caught it, and I didn't chop anything off, which would be important. So again, I'm just slicing these, not hair thin. You know, in Goodfellas at the beginning when they're making pasta sauce, he uses a razor blade to slice it so thin, and I'm like, that's insane. You don't gain anything from doing it that thin. Now, somebody out there, if you want to argue with me, fine, but I think it's each your own. John, I don't have any unnecessary conversions for you to do today. I'm sorry, because there's no real measurements other than, eyeballing. So I'm real sorry about that. Well, time puns. I mean, we got all the time in the world. Morris Day and the time. I don't know what you want from me. So I'm going to do about 3 or 4 of these, and then, slice them into what I want. And I'm going to do I'm going to put these off to the side, and then I'm going to do the onion. I did these tomatoes first because also I want to make sure. I wanted to see if they were going to, bleed is not the right answer, but
Leak.
Leak. There you go, Denise. And how much fluid is going to come out?
Hey, Doug, did you go to high school with somebody named Nate Kernan?
Yes, Nate is. Yes.
Can you say hello to their son Lane, please?
Lane, thank you for joining us tonight. I know your mother and your stepfather back in high school, and they were the coolest. I know you don't believe it now, but they were.
Oh, that is the couple you said was. You told me that.
I did. They're the coolest.
Yeah, the coolest.
Yeah. So.
No, really, he did say that.
I did.
It sounded sarcastic when I just said it, but I didn't mean it that way. I've had a Tom Collins. Give me a break.
Yeah, it's not sarcastic. I used to give Rachel bubble gum every day when I was a junior and they were seniors and they sat on the senior bench.
Were you in love with Rachel?
No, we were just friends. I wasn't in love with anybody. Even if I was, nobody could tell. So I had what you might call the worst game ever.
I know this, honey.
Yeah.
Also, surface area equals flavor Doug. That's from Adriana.
Oh.
Well, and they were in prison, so they had the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, they got nothing better to do, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm not keeping up with the conversation. In the movie, they were in prison.
Yeah.
Okay, earlier somebody A said that you looked pale and hearty, but I thought she was talking about the tomatoes.
Pale and hearty?
So then
I don't think that's a compliment.
That's like well rested. You are tired.
You look tired. I mean, it's probably meant to be a compliment, knowing Adriana, but because she's just so nice. But at the same time, I'm like, really pale. It makes me want to go sit in the sun.
Is the oil too hot? It smells oil.
It does smell. I turned it off because it got hot. This thing is hard to manage, so we're gonna let it sit. And I guarantee
Hale and hearty is what they meant to say.
Hale and hearty. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Was that it?
John, I think maybe there was some mistyping there.
Oh. I blame it on John, which we do a lot right here. So
that's just pretty much how we roll. So that's okay.
All right. I'm not doing too big of a small of a chop here. I just want to get this in here. I don't care. It's going to disappear over time. Well, not disappear, but it's going to get soft. Hey, Nate, are you guys camping tonight or do I grace you when you're at home, not out the campsite? If you're camping, that's super cool. I mean, way cooler than us. We
were going to camp and then everything lit on fire and all the forest got closed.
That's true. And what I was going to say too is that we took some of that advice where you guys were watching, and we set up a TV and we were watching TV outside in our hot tub. So that was sort of like camping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I love that this show has turned into me giving shout outs to people. I like that. If you'd like a shout out, please let us know.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Hey, remember I told you last week we lost a subscriber? Well, we gained 2 in the last week. What?
One that Doug shamed into coming back.
Yeah, hey. If you're not doing self-promotion, you're not doing any promotion, they say. So.
Who's they?
I don't know.
You are gracing us at home tonight. First night home all summer.
Wow. Yeah, I wish we could have gotten camping, but the smoke was just too bad, and there was a fire ban everywhere. So, I mean, we had fires to the north of us, fires to the south of us, and here I am, stuck in the middle of you. So,
And all the smoke.
I mean, actually, I was looking at the weather forecast.
Valley full of smoke.
I was looking for the forecast this week. It's actually got to be quite nice. There's no snow, haze, or anything. It's supposed to be sunshine. And the temperature has finally
You
dropped.
mean smoke haze?
That's what I said.
Okay.
But the temperature is going to be like in the mid 80s, which is like, I know that sounds like so hot, but I'm telling you, for here, we had 28 days over 100 degrees this summer.
I don't know. We finally got rain Friday morning.
We did.
That was
That was
delightful.
delightful.
John wants you to start a Patreon page so people can donate and we can get a sizzle cam.
I mean, I could start a Patreon, but I mean, that seems like a lot to ask of people.
You give a mouse a cookie. You give him a chopping cam. Now he wants a sieve.
I know
I
it,
know.
right?
John's never satisfied.
Mouse a cookie. That's a good analogy.
Okay, so I'm gonna let those do their thing, but I'm gonna add salt and pepper because onions love pepper. Oh my God! Speaking of pepper, holy moly! We went to dinner last night, and we were at the steakhouse, and we just decided to go because I felt like going out and doing something fancy. And this man, first of all, there's two things here.
Psycho.
He was a psycho because, first of all, you know how when they bring you your salad, they're like, "Would you like pepper, sir?" And you say yes. Now you could be a psycho and just let them go and go and go. No, this guy took it one step further. He took the long pepper grinder from the server, and he was doing it himself. He did no less than 100 turns. I swear to God, right?
I think like 50.
It doesn't
But
matter.
regardless,
It was an excessive
I
amount.
wanted to get up out of my seat and go see how much pepper was on the salad. It was so crazy.
We were, and then like we didn't even know what was going on because Amy pointed that out, and then it was a real show and dinner and a show.
There was
that
also
night.
a woman that looked like she had a Pomeranian on her
my
head.
God, that was amazing too.
It was
But like it was one of those things that I was like, what is happening right now, right?
And then there was a couple sitting close to us that I was going to say something to, but then I saw her say to her partner, I read her lips and she said something about white people.
So we would have.
So I didn't.
we were, yeah, we just sort of did, I don't know. It was fun.
It was a weird night.
It was fun though. We had a lot of
I
fun.
also staked out a machine for Doug, and when the woman left, I went, cuckoo, cuckoo.
That's true. Well,
And this other woman I think she thought I was going to mug her because she spent equal time staring at me as staring at her machine.
it's crazy.
And it wasn't even the woman I was stalking.
No. And so, yeah, we were at a casino steakhouse, the Wesley Village, which is one of our favorites. So I'm going to chop. So what I'm going to do is because these are everything that's raw, I'm actually going to add these tomatoes in too because I want them to start breaking down before we add everything back in there. And so I'm just going ahead and add in that. And I do think one of the things I'm going to try and do is somebody recommended getting a lapel cam, a lapel mic from me because it sounds a little weird sometimes. So I don't know. We'll see. They're a little bit weird. I'm not sure how to integrate that sound with the overall sound. And who knows? All right. So I'm going to add these tomatoes. We're going to let them go. Oh my God. It already smells really good. Like that thyme is really coming through. So, nope. Don't do that.
Why is the garlic still sitting there?
Because garlic, I don't want to burn. So what I want it to do is if I add it now, it'll get overcooked. And I'm going to add it towards the end. It's going to get cooked, but not, and then I'm going to add then I'll add all the canned ingredients.
Oh, okay.
So.
Where'd all these herbs come from?
Well, the thyme I had to buy because my thyme bush is just like not doing its job. But the oregano I grew and the basil I grew. We made basil ice cream last week. I think we mentioned that, didn't we? I don't know. It was
I don't know.
it was pretty good overall.
It's delicious. I was surprised.
We were. And I think the surprising thing for me is like you wouldn't like basil ice cream. You're like, oh, you know how basil tastes. And it's like, I like basil quite a bit. But in ice cream, but the sweetness of it came out. And it over the I don't know, the little bit of bitterness that it has didn't come through. So how is everybody? I hope everybody's well. The world is still a little crazy out there. So stay safe and keep your loved ones safe. That's all I can say. So this is fresh basil. I'm just going to chop all of it because I want that to come through. I also am going to use a small amount of, well, it's not small. It's probably a tablespoon of dried Italian herbs. And the reason why is it's going to add a punch because you need about twice as much fresh herbs to dry herbs because the flavor concentrates as you dry it. So I'm just adding it to give us a little bit extra flavor. And again, I'm just adding this kind of a rough chop, getting it in there. Because again, everything, once chopped, the oils are going to activate and they're going to come through. So, okay, we got that. Let's give it a stir. That's why we put so much olive oil in here because we're starting out. Now, when I add in the tomatoes from the can, I'm not getting rid of any of the liquid because I want that. But you're going to see there's going to be, we'll kind of move this, and I'll move this closer, and then you'll be able to kind of see in it. But what's going to happen is that when we add it, the olive oil is going to sort of seep up because it's not going to emulsify. As we stir it, it's going to mix in, and it's going to emulsify a lot better. But as these go,
that smells good.
yeah, it does. So turn the heat up just a teeny tiny bit. I don't want to super cook this. I just want to get everything to sort of soften a little bit. And the reason why is because if you're going to, what I recommend for this recipe and what has been most successful for me is you need at least 30 minutes, more like an hour. If you go 2, it's better because once it gets in there, it's going to condense a little bit and really get the full sort of tomatoey flavor into it. Now, you could add, once you're doing this, you could be like, if you're going to make spaghetti, my ratio is like a pound of good ground beef and a pound of Italian sausage and mix those together and then add it into that. And you're going to get a really good flavor out of it too. So now, I like the way that looks. And I'm going to just add our garlic. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let this come together. And in 30 minutes or so, 30 seconds, it's going to get florally and really come up to a nice garlicky smell. It should smell amazing in your house when you're making it. It's like you should be able to like invite people over early, be doing this, and be like, they're going to be like, you're the best cook I've ever had. Or, nope, that's not true either. Best cook ever. How about that? So can you see into here?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll look into it in a minute. Oh, already I can smell the garlic. So while that's happening, oh man, that smells so good. I'm just going to open these really quick. What else? Oh yeah, so we got the garage sale going on. What else is
So
going
there
on?
is some questions about your knife skills.
Okay.
Where'd you learn to knife?
Where did I learn? I don't know. I just practice over time. I think like.
And maybe someday you could do some knifing basics.
Okay. I'm not like I don't. You'll notice when I knife things or cut things, I do curl
Yeah.
my fingers, but a lot of times sometimes I don't because I don't feel like I have the best grip. But so I have tomatoes, and then I know I'm gonna get some more, and I'm gonna actually we're gonna can tomatoes, and they're gonna be delicious.
That's not enough for canning.
No, I know. That is gonna be some for canning, but
Okay.
all right, so this is good. Now,
Can you maybe put some on your spoon so we can see what it's looking like? Oh. Huh. Let me zoom. Do it again.
Okay, hold on. So you can see what it looks like. It's really colorful, and the tomatoes have softened.
It looks like
Salsa.
pico de gallo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay, so we're just gonna add this in, and the crushed tomatoes are. So sometimes what I like to do, and actually what I normally do, is I use one can of. I just don't have one can of crushed and one can of whole peeled tomatoes, and then you get a different texture base. The peeled tomatoes, the whole, are gonna break down, but you do get a little bit of chunkage that is good.
But you had the fresh aromas for this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. So this is going to be a lot, but if you eat spaghetti, you always make too much. At least we do.
And it freezes.
It does freeze really well. You can put it in a bag or put it in a container or whatever. Like we have those containers that are like restaurant to go stuff. Okay, so
That are reusable.
yes.
Oh, so let's talk about this thing we got in the mail today. We got this thing in the mail today that is like an 8x10 glossy cardstock advertisement that lists like, I don't know, 100 houses that this company, which I'm not going to name them because I don't want to advertise for them at all. But anywho, these addresses and the prices that they've sold these houses at. And then it says that the slogan is educate yourself or pay too much. No, pay attention or pay too much.
Yeah.
I am writing them a letter. First of all, the thing is not recyclable because of the way it's made. It's not appreciated. I did not solicit it. And that slogan makes me very angry.
Yeah, because it's like assuming that we're idiots, basically.
Yeah. So their whole little team is getting a letter.
I am getting more salt and pepper because we only really seasoned the onions, and that is not enough. We just put 56 ounces of tomatoes in.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm adding the salt and pepper, and then again I'm adding whatever's left in here, which is about a tablespoon, which is what I would normally add. And again, it's just going to add more of that. You're gonna get two different types of flavor from the Italian herbs.
Do you ever put red chili flake in your tomato sauce?
Well, Denise, I would, and I have. I didn't last time, and I really liked the flavor that came through in terms of like. But I think we've also had the red chili flakes in our cupboard for, I would say, 10 years. So
Probably because I don't add them to anything.
So if you are like us and you bought way too big of a container, don't do that. All right, so let's make a cocktail. Everybody, they're looking real thirsty on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, been waiting for this.
I know you have, but I wanted
What
to
about that last ingredient later?
what last ingredient?
The sugar.
I've got tomato paste and butter to put in here.
Oh, okay.
So, and you're like, what? You're gonna understand when I do it. I don't want that one. It's got too much basil on it. All right, so if you have gin and you have lemon juice and you have simple syrup, you can follow along. If not, well, sorry. Okay, so it's 2 ounces of gin. So it's a 2-1-1 ratio. 2 of gin and 1 of everything else. And we're going to stir it here. Or not stir it. We're going to shake it to cool. We're going to strain into a highball glass, which is basically one of these. And the dogs, they were really yucking it up outside. Okay. So now.
Well, the dogs got groomed by the mobile pet groomer.
That's true. They did.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. What is it? It's
In-N-Out Pet.
In-N-Out Pet. They do a great job, and they come right into the front of the house. And then our dogs are like joined at the hip if you've ever met them. So they're both real trepidatious of going out there. Piper barked at him and then climbed right into the thing and knew exactly what to do. So, okay, so now I need. This is Amy's. It had to indicate because we've already had one, so she needed to make sure that we knew it was her. Fill your glass up. If you got cocktail ice, cool. If not, and then just strain it out.
So Tony says her dad always used SPOGs. Stands for salt, pepper, oregano, garlic, and sweet basil.
Yeah.
And she adds fennel too.
Oh yeah, fennel would be actually really good in this. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of lemon zest as well, which I made earlier from the skin of lemons. And then 1 maraschino cherry, which we've eaten the hell out of these Luxardo maraschino cherries. It was so funny. So I got a maple bourbon or maple old fashioned at the steakhouse, which is one of their signature cocktails, and it is quite delicious. But they used them, and she's like, "Oh, this Luxardo." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll try it." So, and this is sparkling water. And you're just going to take this up to the top. And then take your spoon. And try not to spill too much. And enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Denise?
Certainly.
Okay, here we go. This is I don't know. I think tomato sauce is one of those things that everybody should have in their staple. You want to
In their repertoire.
yeah, because it's versatile. You can, like I said, you can use it. Like this will be like if we made breadsticks again, this would be an excellent marinara sauce.
Yeah.
If you made pizza, you could actually probably use this as a pizza sauce if you cook it down a little bit more. So it's one, I know, like I said earlier, it's kind of could be controversial as a side dish, but or an accompaniment or whatever. But I think that's what it's best as. It's the noodles and the meat and that or meat sauce or whatever you're doing is that. And we're not actually making like a bolognese or anything, which is a whole separate thing. But we're just, we're making a nice red sauce. So.
Nobody on here seems to be arguing.
I know. Well, Sandra doesn't watch me regularly, so I don't have to worry about justifying my existence to him. I do. We used to eat quite a bit of spaghetti,
Yeah, I love spaghetti.
so. Yeah. I don't know.
But I mean, before I met you, I just bought Newman's own spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
Browned some ground beef, added some onions and mushrooms. Good to go.
That's true. You can totally do that. So
I know because
I
I
wouldn't
did for
recommend
years.
I don't think I would do it. My mother always made her own sauce. I watched that. That's how.
Oh, what were we talking about today? A bucket. Denise pointed out that we don't really have like a bucket for like cleaning or anything. I was never raised with that. Did you have a bucket?
Yes.
You did?
Actually, what we had is my mother had. Well, we had bucket, but at one point she had
You had bucket, like you called it bucket.
Yeah, bucket. No, it just seems silly. Nobody does that,
Okay.
right? Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
And we had one of the actual like.
Gosh, I really would have liked it if we had bucket.
Hey man with bucket. He was my friend. We were poor when I was a kid for a while. We weren't that poor.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I think it's like a thing that you grow up with or
No,
something.
we had a bucket,
right?
and then we also had an actual mop bucket where you put it in the back and squeeze this out. We had one of those because my mother was crazy.
You know what? I think maybe this stems from like you put the cleaner and the water and you have your rag or your sponge or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I was raised with spray cleaners. Is that the difference? Maybe?
Maybe my mom just tortured me. Hands, knees, scrub the floor.
Cinderella,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or it's funny. So we went to visit my dad, and he was using a mop and bucket where it was a bucket. You put the mop thing in it, and you spin it, and it like whops out, and it was pretty awesome. So we were like, oh, that'd be awesome. We'll get one for our housekeeper Olga, because she uses literally like a sponge with a towel wrapped around it. And so, but the one we had broke, so we were like, we'll get a new one. And we get it, and I bring it home, and later we were both home for some reason on Monday. I think it was a holiday or something. And I said, Olga, how do you like the mop? And she goes, I do not like it. And I was like, no. So we went that day to Home Depot and bought 4 different types of mops to bring back. And I said, which one of these do you like? And she's like, this one. And it was the plainest one of the whole
I
bunch.
think she picked 2 for us to keep. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought, I'm the making of these, so I'm going to give myself 2 chairs. But I thought it was one of the funniest interactions we've ever had with her. her, and she's great. But
I thought, yeah, that was
I
funny.
do
I
not
do
like
not
that.
like it.
like,
We're like,
I've never heard
oh,
so much
shoot.
disdain from a woman who's had nothing negative to say since she's been working with us. and
We
with
have
us,
made
so-
a mistake.
And we were like, and you don't want to I don't want to inconvenience her because she does such a great job. And so it's like, we'll get you whatever.
She
you want.
still uses the new mop and
Yeah.
puts her towel around.
Yeah.
It. That's how she likes to do it.
Yeah. One time she did it this was this was like 10 years ago, I think. But one time she was doing it on hands and knees, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
No.
She's like, "I get it real clean this way," and I was like,
No.
"No, we can't have that. That makes me feel bad. You're not Cinderella." All right, well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
It's so good. It's bright. It's really good. I think this would make a picture of this for summer.
It's good for summer, yeah.
So good. Okay, so while this has been bubbling away,
How's it look now? Let's see.
well, hold on. I'm gonna make a change here. Make a change. I don't think you.
Oh yeah, we can see it more.
Can you hold on? I can. Oop, how's that?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't looking at that one. No. All we can see is the lid. It's okay. From here, from the big one, we
Okay.
can see.
Okay, well, I can make it a little bigger.
I think.
So you can see, I want that simmer. I want that level of simmer because I want it. It needs to cook through. It's gonna boil out any additional of the liquid that's there. But right now, I want to add this. Now, you're saying to yourself, Doug, how much would you add? I don't know. What looks good? So I'm just gonna, squeeze until I feel like it looks good. And probably, I'm gonna use all of this. Because this is gonna add, when you get
So Billy jinxed you because he just put in the chat that the reflection of the Christmas tree looks like a bunch of food exploded on the microwave. And now it looks like Doug has killed someone.
Waste not, want not here, folks. This is a clean, so we're gonna go in there. I can't believe that just happened. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Holy shit. Excuse me, but that was
great.
funny. Okay, so the tomato paste is gonna add
Hey,
good-
you got something on your apron.
yeah, it's gonna add a good punch of tomato flavor that you're gonna, because when I always find when I'm making sauce, sometimes it feels like watered down,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm gonna turn
It
this
doesn't, it's not as rich as it could be.
Yeah, I'm literally.
So you know what's the great thing about that apron? Remember how I noticed the other day that it right around your belly there, it's double layered?
Yeah.
You can kind of see the stitch line when you're standing up, there's a half
Yeah.
circle shape.
Yeah.
That's good because it won't soak through and get you.
Well, I mean, I gotta say, it took 68 episodes to get something all over the front of me. So
That was awesome.
I suppose that's good. And if it makes good YouTube TV, then you're welcome. I turned it down a little bit because this is where the long term, let it sit for a little bit. Okay, but the other thing I want to do is I'm going to take. Now you're going to think that's a lot of garlic, and we're going to see. I'm not going to say we're going to crush it. Now, why are we going to crush it? Because you're going to get the chunks of garlic, which are going to be things, but this is going to disappear inside the garlic. So that's what we want to see. If you were really a psycho, you could just take your microplane and do this, and that would be even. But I'm not feeling psycho-ish tonight, so.
And also, you don't want to put 50 turns of the pepper grinder on your salad. That was crazy.
There was a lot going on. I mean, there was this gal. I mean, first of all, somebody ordered the French onion soup, Denise.
Have you ever had that?
No, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
It
we
was-
gotta get that next time.
It was really good.
Uncroute.
It was really, really good. I don't know how many I put in there. I think there were 6 in there or 7, and now I put all of them in there. So, but I know, again, it's a huge volume of garlic, and I like garlic
And
tomato.
sauce.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I like to make that disappear. Now, let's talk about the sugar and the butter. So this has got good thickness already. See how it's like not just falling off? That's what we want to see. Because we don't want tomato sauce that is too thin. And if you like add it to tomato or pasta, it doesn't stick. So
Well, if it gets too thick, then you're supposed to water it down with some of the pasta water.
yes, and that helps get it. But this is
Puts a little
right where I
starch in
want it.
there, and
The sugar I add. This is 1 tablespoon. That's the only thing I measured tonight. And the reason I know 1 tablespoon works is because I've done more and I've done less. But I'm adding this, and it's going to cut some of the acidity.
yeah.
And I know you think that's crazy, but it's not. And I'm also going to add just 2 tablespoons of butter. And this is unsalted. And what this is going to do is it's going to give some creaminess to this, and it's going to make it sort of more sauce. I mean, I've done this. You don't have to do this, but I've done it multiple times, and it really adds something to it. Whoa, Jack! Nobody wanted to ask
Jack
you.
is being a pain in the neck.
So just stir that in, and at this point, this is done. You can use this, and I think at this point, like, it would be perfectly fine. It's been cooking for about, I think, 25 minutes or so from start to finish. The vegetables that we put in early, like, I don't even see, I don't know if you can see, but there's here's a little bit of the skins of the fresh tomatoes that we put in there. And you could use a food mill, but what's the point? There's vitamins in there. If it was like a huge amount, then I would worry about it, but it's not. I'm just making sure that I'm stirring until I can see like this little bit of butter and stuff go with it. That's a piece of garlic, but there's a little bit. Here's the butter. No, that's tomato. I don't know. It's in here somewhere, everyone. Just make sure you don't see that and you really incorporate it into the whole thing. And scrape down the sides because it's there. So let's taste it. I already know it's good. So let's just taste it. Speaking of which, we have some new silverware.
Shut up.
I won't tell you
Nobody
where from,
asked you.
but my wife decided that
Stop it.
would be a great idea to slowly get a new silverware set from a well-known restaurant.
I can't find them online.
Yeah, it's true. So, what do you think? Oh, it's too
I don't
hot.
know. I'm scared. Mm.
Okay, very tomatoey. Exactly what we want.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really good. At this point,
You can really see all the different yummies in here too.
exactly, it's so good. At this point, this is where I would add the meat, and if you're going to add meat to it, if not,
Already cooked meat, browned meat.
yes, you want to brown it up because it's going to add flavor. And don't be afraid to pour pour off pour off all the oil that's left, maybe or fat.
Fat.
Like maybe leave 2 tablespoons in there and add it in, and you're going to get a lot of flavor out of that too.
What about the mushrooms?
I would add the mushrooms earlier if you want mushrooms. Or you can cook them with the meat. Either way. You're going to get some umami out of it. It's going to be great. I'm going to push this to the side because I'm going to let it kind of reduce for us because we've still got to make the Parmesan, the chicken Parmesan, and bacon. But I hope this was educational. It's one of my favorite things to make, and I'm pretty good at it, I think, I'd like to say. It just tastes good, and that's all you're looking for. Make it however you want, though. If you want more garlic, add more garlic. If you want more herbs, add more herbs. Everybody's probably got a recipe that they have a go-to for this. But don't be afraid to use it for different things. I mean, if you wanted to get crazy, you could probably take an immersion blender, blend this up till it's smooth, add a little bit of cream to it, and maybe make a soup out of it.
Ooh.
I mean, what are we
Maybe
talking
we
about?
should try that.
what are we talking about? I mean, basically, that's what we got here.
Yeah,
I mean, once you smooth it out and add some cream, you got the bisque. I mean, I'm sure that there's some sort of rules that you have to follow, but we break rules around here all the time. So thank you for showing up. As always.
Hold on, please. Couldn't you do that and then add like the seafood and make like the pan fry? No, the pan fry, like from the oyster bar.
You do either chicken
Yeah.
or pan fry.
I think it would you'd want to thin it out a little bit. I think more because
with cream.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Okay, now you can say goodbye.
I mean, thanks. Really appreciate you guys coming. It was so much fun. It's so much fun to do this, and like talking to you and doing all it's the best part of this. So, I mean, I could do this by myself, and it wouldn't be anything like this. So, thanks for coming, and remember, it's a crazy world out there, so it's extra important to be kind and be loyal and do something nice for somebody this week. We love you so much. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, Jackie, get out of the kitchen.